So, in a rare instance of CBS actually doing some decent reporting, they uncovered a ICE memo that was just released yesterday, February 18th, that is giving ICE, it's a memo to ICE giving them broader powers and a kind of an initiative to start detaining and targeting legal, let me say it again, legal refugees. All right, now it's not like before this they weren't like already going after people who had legal status and revoking, trying to revoke the legal status of certain people, honeypotting people at immigration court hearings and the like. But like now it's out in the open. They are openly encouraging it, and that is going after legal refugees. Now, what happened to this whole you know we're only going after violent criminals. We're only going after violent criminals. Like, I, I, I mean, that's a tired argument at this point because that fell apart within quite literally the first week of Trump's mass deportation agenda. But yeah, I just want to bring it up because remember, we're only going after the violent criminals, and then it went from violent criminals to just undocumented people, and then it like or violent undocumented people, and then went to undocumented people, and then you had throw in the fucking arresting and detainment of permanent green card holders. Like it's a slippery slope, and we're continuing to slide down it. Let's get into this article here from CBS. The directive dated February 18th and submitted by government lawyers in a federal court filing on Wednesday instructs ICE to detain refugees who entered the U.S. lawfully but who have not formally obtained permanent residency, also known as a green card, a year after their admission. Refugees are immigrants granted a safe haven in the U.S. after proving they are fleeing persecution in their home countries due to their race, religion, nationality, political views, or membership in a social group. And on top of what I said earlier, the Trump administration has also I'm not sure where they are in court right now, but has already tried to revoke the TPS status of people from Haiti, Afghanistan, and etc. We're talking like a minimum 500,000 to a million people that were here legally, came here legally, that are now being forced out. All right. Historically, the U.S. has resettled tens of thousands of refugees annually, most of whom undergo a years-long vetting process in refugee camps overseas before reaching American soil. But the Trump administration has virtually shut down the U.S. refugee program, making limited exemptions for some groups, including Afrikaners, white Afrikaners. That was in Trump's executive order. I remember I got in a lot of trouble for covering this because I shit on the whole notion because they claimed that white Afrikaners were facing like white genocide and were being targeted by the government of South Africa. We debunked it a million ways a Sunday. All right. But, we canceled the status of Haitians and Cubans and Venezuelans and people from Afghanistan. But it would come on in white South Afrikaners. Like, I remember a statement, I don't know if it was from Pam Bondi or some other fucking bitch in the administration, but it was like, yeah, these white South Afrikaners, they meet the textbook definition of refugee status. And then in the same breath would be like, yeah, the conditions in Afghanistan, the conditions in Haiti, the conditions in Venezuela, they've all changed for the better, so it's safe to go back there now. Are you stupid? Afghanistan is under control by the Taliban. Haiti is under like gang occupation. Venezuela, we just abducted their president. Oh, it's so ridiculous. It's so openly xenophobic and just straight up racist. All right, it's racist. I don't know how people still dispute that when Trump comes out and calls majority of the people coming to this country animals, rapists, criminals, like, when statistically speaking, they make up such a small fraction of crime. Every study shows that immigrants of all forms commit significantly less crime than U.S. citizens. In fact, when an area has a large influx of immigrants, the crime actually goes down in that area. It's funny how that works, isn't it? So all this it's about national security, it's about law and order, it's about public safety. It's all a lie. It is purely racially motivated. Oh, right. Okay. The latest policy targets refugees already brought to the U.S. under federal law. Refugees are required to apply for a green card within a year of their arrival. Though, through the new memo, the Trump administration is arguing that those refugees who have not become permanent U.S. residents a year after coming to the country must return to government custody to have their cases reviewed and rescreened. The directive was issued by acting ICE Director Todd Lyons and U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services Director Joseph Edlow, who, among other things, oversees the green card process. So you have the people who are deliberately making the process slower. It was already a slow process for getting your green card. It's something that probably takes over a year to begin with, and they know that. So even if you applied a year ago and you still haven't gotten it yet, you were going through all the normal checks, showing up at your hearings, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. They're going to deport you. They're going to detain you. And that, like, they are encouraging people to show up to the hearings when, and like, every day we have a new case of someone who had legal status or is doing the right thing and going through the right process to get legal status, or being arrested at their immigration hearings. Like, quite literally, people who are going in for their, like, annual check-in or their routine check-in are getting arrested and deported. Like, these aren't violent criminals. These aren't criminals at all. And, like, even the people who may not be going through the process and are just simply undocumented, like, they're not going after the violent ones of them either. They're just not. Like, they're doing sweeps at Home Depots and abducting farm workers and just raiding workplaces. It's ridiculous. And just doing targeted stops based on skin color. Okay. The memo says these refugees can return to government custody voluntarily by appearing for an interview at an immigration office. Yeah, that always goes well. But if they don't, the memo says ICE must find, arrest, and detain them. The directive gives ICE the power to maintain custody of these refugees for the duration of the inspection and examination process. This is wording to set the stage for, like, indefinite permanent detention. There's a reason why they are building these buying warehouses all across the United States, like far more warehouse space than what is needed to actually detain the immigrants that we have, let alone the violent ones. Like, it is scary. These are quite literally going to be concentration camps. Some of them are, like, situated near, like, Amazon warehouses and shit. Like, we're talking forced labor, and just, it's going to get so dark, man. And call me crazy, but, like, we leftists have been right about every single thing. Every single thing. We warned about this before Trump took office. The directive reverses longstanding ICE policy that stipulated that refugees' failure to get a green card within a year of their admission was not by itself a legitimate legal reason to detain them. The prior policy also required ICE to decide within 48 hours of detaining a refugee to release them or place them in deportation proceedings if officials found any valid deportation ground. So these refugees have already been vetted. They've already been vetted. They've probably been checking in regularly with immigrations and customs, and they're going to be punished for it. While its crackdown on illegal immigration has garnered more attention and controversy, the Trump administration has mounted a quieter yet still sweeping effort to tighten legal immigration channels, usually justifying moves on national security grounds. Yeah, like, the whole just come here the right way, bro, that argument collapsed within a week of the mass deportation agenda. But, like, I don't know how many more examples I can provide you of them just going after people who have done it the legal way, and not only going after those people, but also shutting down further avenues for legal immigration. We are literally committing suicide as a country. All right, places like Japan, who are very xenophobic, are literally killing themselves. They don't accept, like, any immigration, and their birth rates are declining, and they are in a long-term crisis. We in the U.S., despite birth rates declining, have been able to get ahead of the population decline trend, which is very bad for a country and their economy. We've been able to get past that because we've been a place open to immigrants, and we've accepted a lot of immigrants. This country would not be what it is today without immigrants. But like these fucking old white fucking dickheads think like that white people are superior and dominant and think that we can do it all on our own, a white Christian nation. Fucking dumb inbreds, Jesus Christ. All right. That's all I have for this one. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and I will see you in the next one. If you made it to this point in the video, I just want to give a special thank you. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button down below, and if you really enjoyed it, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button while you're down there. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. I will try to reply to any and all comments that I can. Until next time, watch that video on screen.